Well. I'm gone for what? A couple days, a week maybe, out of the Pokemon hobby. And there's just a bunch of fuckery happening in here. Fucking GameStop scamming people. I guess that's really nothing new, is it? PokeTubers saying, some really distasteful shit. I guess that's also not out of the ordinary then, is it? Okay, maybe I haven't missed that much. I thought I missed a lot more. In all honesty, the reason that I've been a little bit out of the loop with the Pokemon space right now is because it was our son's 8th birthday. He had a Pokemon themed birthday party and that was fun, and it was a lot. He got a lot of cool Pokemon stuff for his birthday, so he's like slowly building through all the Legos he got, or like the Mega Constructs things. He also got a bunch of Blue Lock figures. He's super into Blue Lock right now. He had a great birthday. And we're currently remodeling both of the kids' rooms and the office and the play space. So that's been a project. All right, guys, but today's video is actually like pretty serious. It's not going to be a funny one with skits and laughing and stuff. This is a pretty serious video and pretty unfortunate topic to even have to talk about regarding anything going on in the Pokemon hobby. I was going to speak about this yesterday, but I was still a little bit too angry, to be honest with you. It's upsetting to hear somebody talk about something so serious in the manner that Rattle Pokemon went ahead and did. And he also posted a follow-up video, I think today, so I got to watch that and react to that as well. If you guys don't know, we're talking about Rattle Pokemon's newest video where he essentially allegedly, I have to say allegedly in all my videos on YouTube, where he allegedly accused a professional Pokemon player, streamer, and fellow YouTuber who goes by Wolfie or Wolf Glick of lying about being SA'd. Which, if you guys don't know, stands for sexual assault. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I don't know if that's is it like a forbidden word here on YouTube or something? Nobody will say it out loud. So Wolf Glick or Wolfie Glick, I'm sorry, I really don't know how to say his username, came out with a video where he said he would be essentially stepping down from the competitive scene, in part due to being touched in a non-consensual sexual manner by fans and people at these events who were taking pictures with him, which is assault, by the way. You can't touch somebody non-consensually in a sexual way, and that's assault. Rattle, in one of the most ignorant videos I've ever seen, goes on to say, well, Wolf Glick has cheated in past tournaments, so how are we supposed to believe him? He could be lying about that too. Okay, let's clear something up real quick. There are real allegations against Wolfie Glick or Wolf Glick, whatever his name is, that he has cheated using hacked Pokemon in tournaments and stuff like that. Cheating's not cool, so if it did go down, yeah, that's shitty. But these two issues are completely 100% unrelated. Cheating in a Pokemon tournament a few years ago or whatever has absolutely nothing to do with him coming out and talking about his experiences with fans and people groping him at events and touching him in a non-consensual sexual manner. How you thought these two things felt connected somehow does not make sense to me. These are two completely separate issues. Cheating in a Pokemon tournament, SA. Not related. Also, I really don't like the logic you're using here, because by your logic, we shouldn't believe anybody who says they've been SA'd if they've ever lied about something, done something wrong. So if you've ever lied or done anything wrong and you've been SA'd, I don't know if we can believe you. I don't know. I don't know if we can believe you. That is fucking stupid and ridiculous, because that would be every single person that you know just about. Because statistics from the NSVRC, the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, statistics show that 81% of women have experienced SA at some point in their lifetime, myself being one of them. It also shows that 43% of men have also experienced SA at some point, to some extent, in their lifetime in the United States. That's a whole lot of people you shouldn't believe, because likely most of those people have told a lie at some point in their life or done something wrong, which doesn't really fucking matter in this case. It literally does not matter what you've done in the past if you're coming out talking about the fact that you've been assaulted. What does him allegedly cheating in a Pokemon tournament have to do with him being groped by his fans? I'm still trying to figure out what the point of this video even was. Were you out of content or something? What the fuck was the point of this video? What were you trying to get across with this video? If you wanted to talk about, his cheating allegations in the tournament and stuff, go for it, dude. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. I think that probably would have been a good story. But it has absolutely nothing to do, like, this was the absolute wrong way to go about doing that. If that's what you wanted to discuss, this was not the right way to go about discussing that. He goes on to say stuff like, well, if this was happening for so long, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't anyone do anything or say anything? Why wasn't this reported immediately?
I competed at 7 official tournaments in the 2025 season. So from September 2024 until August 2025, I attended 7 in-person tournaments. At 5 of those tournaments, I was groped. Fans, when taking pictures with me, put their hands on me sexually and non-consensually during the act of taking photos.
Absolutely not acceptable. If it happened, I don't know what to extent it happened, and it's sad to say that we are going to have a hard time believing what he's saying. The staff at those events, if this happened, should have been contacted. The person should have been removed. There should be clear boundaries. Why is this coming out now?
This is straight up victim blaming. It is absolutely not the responsibility of the victim to ensure that nobody else gets harmed. The fault only lies with the person committing the acts. It's never a victim's fault for not speaking up right away. Like, holy shit, dude. And there are plenty of reasons why a victim might not speak up right away. Like, because he kept saying, like, well, why now? Why is he doing this now? There's plenty of reasons why he didn't speak up until right now. In most SA cases, the victims don't speak up for years, if ever. One reason could be, SA is a traumatic experience for everybody who goes through it. And the way that the human brain processes trauma varies from person to person. It can take a lot of time for somebody to even realize what happened and how that experience made them feel, let alone be ready to just like tell the whole world what happened. And even trying to articulate it right after it happens is really difficult. Most people take years like trying to process what exactly happened to them before they come out and say what happened to them. It's a traumatic experience. It's a very difficult thing to go through. Another reason could be that victims of SA often experience feelings of guilt, shame, embarrassment, fear. The fear could be of, how somebody will react when they tell them, what will happen afterwards once it's out in the open like that. They might be scared of what the person who did it to them might do again if they find out that they spoke up. And what you're doing right now is a perfect example of why so many SA victims don't speak out or don't want to. The first thing you did when he came out and just basically said, hey, I'm stepping back from this because I feel uncomfortable by being groped by my fans all the time. The first thing you did was question whether or not he was telling the truth, and then started victim blaming him by saying, oh, well, somebody needs to kick them out. We need to take care of this right away. Why wouldn't you say anything? That reaction right there is a great example of why more people of victims of SA don't speak out sooner. I'm not even saying any of that necessarily applies to Wolflick. I don't know how he feels. I don't know how he processed things. I don't know why he didn't say anything, why he did say something. Like, that's not any of our business. But Rattle clearly can't figure out for himself why a victim of SA might not speak out right away. So we had to school him real quick with some basic psychology 101. It just makes no sense, and it's just pure ignorance. Obviously, I'm not the only person that felt this way because multiple creators in the space decided to also make a video about this, including, but not limited to, Pokieni, Opossum Shiny Vert. He also got ratioed to shit. His video got a ton of dislikes, and his comment section is extremely negative towards him, obviously. And, none of this is typical for a Rattle video. He doesn't normally get ratioed every video. He doesn't normally have an overwhelming amount of negative comments, at least to my understanding. Now, here's the thing that really, gets under my skin, okay, with content creators on YouTube. Let's take me, for example. A normal day on my channel, I'll post a video. It gets a decent amount of likes. It gets good, positive engagement for the most part. I always get a couple, look, I'm a very opinionated channel, guys, so to be expected, I always get a couple of negative comments as well. People who disagree with my stances on things, which is fine. But those are far and few between, to be honest, on my channel. So it would be very abnormal, right? If I posted a video and the dislikes were, higher than the like ratio, and the comments were overwhelmingly negative about the things that I was saying. That would be a very abnormal day here on this channel. And for Rattle, I think that's a similar experience. I don't think it's normal, this isn't an everyday thing for him, whereas comment section is just overwhelmed with negativity. So the thing is, as a creator, right? As a person, okay, what do you do in that situation? what should you do? How would you react to that? I'll tell you how, I would likely react to that. I would likely take some time to reflect on the video that I posted, because clearly something went wrong. I would take the time to read through the comments, hear out people's criticisms of the things that I said or did, try and understand why, my stance was the way that it was, or why something I said came off the way that it did. And then I would likely take the video down, first of all, because just out of respect, clearly I offended a lot of people, and I'm probably going to take that video down. I'd probably do a formal apology to my audience and a private apology, as well as public, to the person who I talked about or offended with my ignorance. Okay, that's what I probably would have done. And then moving forward, I wouldn't do that same thing again. And I would better educate myself on the things that went wrong and the things that I said wrong or that I was ignorant about. That's how I would respond. I feel that's the correct response, the mature response. And I have a lot of respect for people who can step up, admit that they were wrong, and, apologize, take the videos down, change for the better. I have the utmost respect for people who can do that, because it does take a lot to stand up and admit that you were wrong. None of us are perfect. We're all gonna fuck up and say some stupid shit sometimes. We're all just human beings here on, talking to our fucking phones or cameras or laptops or whatever. I know there's people watching behind the screen, but right now I'm staring at a fucking phone. So it's possible one day I'm gonna say some stupid shit. I get it. We're not all perfect. Nobody is perfect. Everybody is far from it, including myself. However, what I severely do not have respect for is people who can't admit that they were in the wrong and just come out and fucking apologize for it. Because instead of doing all the things that I just said, any respectable person would do in this situation, Rattle decided to double down and fight with people in his comment section in a defensive manner. That's what you're choosing to do. Instead of just owning up to your shit and being like, hey, that was really shitty of me to say. I shouldn't have said it like that. I apologize, blah, blah, blah. You decided to double down and argue with your viewers who were clearly just pointing out your wrongdoings. Let's read some of the comments. This first person here says, you don't get to decide what happens to other people and not believe them just because you think you would have behaved differently from the comfort of your own home, not in the context of this situation. Please, please, please inform yourself about the realities of SA before ever having an opinion about them again. Couldn't agree more with this comment. I think he's extremely uneducated on this topic. I don't think he should even be discussing it because he clearly doesn't know a lot about it and how it affects people. Also, it's really easy to say, oh, well, I would have reacted this way if it was me. Really easy to say that until you're in the situation, like this person's pointing out, surrounded by hundreds or thousands of people, maybe not wanting to make a scene, maybe not even fully understanding what just happened. And now the person's already walking away. The person's already out of the building before you've even processed what the fuck just happened to you. Really easy to say that while you're sitting at a computer screen. If you haven't gone through it yourself, don't fucking say anything. You don't get to make up how you would have reacted. You literally don't know how you would have reacted to that unless you actually went through it. So shut up. His response to that was, so you get to decide it happened? There's no way you are not just being a troll at this point or something, because you genuinely sound so ignorant it's crazy. Yeah, he sounds like a fucking asshole. What a fucking asinine response. Is saying groping isn't a priority a gross mindset? Is not having the person removed from the venue in future events so it can't be done to others a gross mindset? It's not the victim's fault. Yeah. Let's just stop that comment right there. Because he's trying to say, how is it a gross mindset for me to want to, catch the person who did this and make sure that there's justice served and blah, blah, blah. But you're going about it in a way where you're blaming him for not speaking up sooner. You're saying, well, why didn't you say anything sooner? Why is this just coming out now? More people could have been groped because you didn't speak up earlier. You're literally victim blaming. Yo, you know what? It's not often you see other creators commenting on videos like this, but Lucky J Cards left a pretty intense comment. Let's go ahead and read that. This video is fucking disgusting. Even if he did cheat, and I wouldn't believe anything Verlicify says anyway, it is completely separate and unrelated to being SA'd. Bringing up the Imaru clip of her getting SA'd to bring her down another victim is abhorrent. Shame on you. Respect to Lucky J for leaving that comment, because I completely agree with everything he said. It's just unbelievable, dude. It's just really pathetic. I really dislike people who can't just admit that they were wrong about something. Why are you in your comments arguing with people and being defensive when you are so obviously in the wrong here? And instead of just posting an apology, okay, he posted a video, I'm pretty sure it was today. It was either today or yesterday. Instead of just posting an apology video like he should have, He posted a video that was mostly responding to Pokémon bashing him. I'm not gonna get into all of that right now. I don't really care what's going on between Pokémon and Rattle. But really, like, this should have just been an apology video. If you wanted to, you know, respond to Pokémon's claims about you, that should have been a separate video. That seems to be a common theme here. Like, these two things are not intertwined. This should have been a separate video, but you can't do that, can you, Rattle? You can't just make a video being like, damn, I was wrong and I'm sorry. It has to be, okay, I was kind of wrong and I'm kind of sorry, but also fuck Pokémon. Should have been two separate videos, dude. This is just a cop-out.
Before we continue, and I have some notes, so I make sure to touch on all of it. The title and thumbnail are in bad taste with the amount of information that we have at the moment. Yes, I'm sure there will be more information in the future, and I will be looking to assist with the investigation. I should have made it more clear that it should be investigated to the fullest extent, regardless of doubts or the track record of the person making the claims. A good point by several people who said that a victim might be hesitant to come forward. I get that. If SA happens multiple times per show, as mentioned in his video, in a public location, in front of people, we have serious issues. If it happened, as he mentioned, while taking pictures, if any of those pictures exist and someone has access to them, please send them my way. It's in everyone's best interest that abusers are prosecuted and cannot attend future events. The quicker it gets shut down, if it happens to anyone, the better. So we got a hypothetical time. What happens when someone falsely claims that Pokémon put his hands down their pants at an event?
I'm glad he's at least seeing some reason when it comes to, like, why maybe Wolf Glick didn't speak out earlier, but he's still going on about, well, you know, the quicker it gets shut down, the better for everyone. Yes, I agree. We all agree. But it's not the responsibility of the victim to make sure that that happens. Like, they're a victim of something deeply gross and disturbing. It's not on them to make sure that other people aren't going out and, you know, groping people. Like that doesn't fall on the victim ever. And I love how he's like, oh, we have serious issues then if this is happening this frequently. Yeah. Yes, we do. Now you're picking it up. Yes, it's a serious issue. It's a very common occurrence in this country, unfortunately. Again, most of the population experiences this at some point in their lifetime. It happens every day to hundreds of thousands of people. So it's not like why is he so shocked by this? Like, this is not some crazy story. Like, this happens every single day to thousands and thousands of people. And then he starts going on with hypotheticals, because we can't just leave it at, hey, I said something really stupid and shitty and I'm sorry. We have to go on with hypotheticals, right? Like, oh, well, you know, what if somebody accused you of that and we're all just supposed to believe them? You know, like that's what he's saying. And the thing is like, yes, of course there should be investigations. If I stand here and accuse somebody of SA and I name their name and everything, there should absolutely be an investigation into that person. No one is arguing that investigation shouldn't take place. Like, if you're accusing somebody of SA, like, yeah, obviously, yes. However, he was simply talking about his experience. He was simply saying that he is stepping back from these tournaments because of this issue. I don't even think he named any names. He simply put, I'm stepping back, and one of the reasons is because I'm being touched and groped inappropriately by fans. I'm almost certain he didn't name any names, and you know, he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to name names. He doesn't have to do that publicly or privately if he doesn't want to. He is the victim in the situation, so he gets to go about this the way that he feels most comfortable doing so. He likely doesn't even know the names of the people that did this to him, unfortunately. And none of us get to dictate how someone else handles their experiences with this kind of stuff. He just wanted, you know, to explain that he's had some very serious, very uncomfortable situations at these events, and that's why he doesn't want to be doing them anymore. And I'm not sure what you were trying to get at here by saying he could be potentially not telling the truth. Like, what would he have to gain from lying about fans groping him at events? What is there to gain from that? I think that this was a really shit response. I think this was a shit way to try and say that, you know, you were wrong. I don't even think you were really trying to say that you were wrong, but whatever. I mean, he's gotten roasted and toasted by the whole community at this point. I think he needs to do a lot more to educate himself if he's going to be talking about topics like this that are super serious and sensitive. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry for the heavy video today. I know it's not like super light and fun like we usually do here. I promise that tomorrow we are going to get back to our normal routine. We're going to get back to our normal goofy videos. I want to make it super extra clear to you guys before I leave here. I do not condone harassment of any kind towards anybody that was mentioned in this video. I don't condone doxing. I don't condone, bullying, harassment, death threats, anything like that. Please do not go and harass anybody mentioned in this video. That's just completely unnecessary. It helps nobody and it's stupid. That's all I've got for you guys today. I will see y'all in the next video. Stay broke out there. Bye.